Hey guys, making one J Balfour video, and in today's video, we're back with the Wars of Empires. This is episode 4. After this, there's 2 more episodes. So yeah, we're going to have Britain. Now this is where Britain, basically what France say they are damaged from the war. So guys, let's football. So they ultimately decide France. So ultimately, I'll just put that on Britain's side. So the Balkans, the French, the Balkans, and the German and Italians all decide they're going to bail out this war. And Russia and China are fine with that. So they are all now out of this war. The peace treaty is made, and it's just to keep things how it is. But now, let's see what I did. By the way, I just realised the entire time, it's principal. Oh, very, very poor. Sorry guys, there we go. Britain now starts to pick things up, and they actually get really, really far into Qing Dynasty. They also push back in the Middle East. And Russia are completely pushed back. Now, this is a massive part of the war, and this part is probably going to take up most of the video. This war is estimated to be in about 5 years now. This one war been going on, and no one knows how long it's going to go on for. The British Empire ultimately go up very, very fast and do it very, very, very easily. Britain get very, very close to Beijing. And even managed to cut China in half. However, this side over here is more valuable than this side. So Britain do not go that way, and China don't really come from that way. Because they can't really. But then they start concentrating attacks into the Xant stands, and including all this. But now China actually start to get a grip of themselves, and they set up a full-on defence. This defence lies within this. This is just a big wall of troops, by the way. This defence goes all the way up, like that. Even though the defence is getting stronger, they may be wondering, why is there a big gap right here? Because how hard it is to actually invade. But Britain noticed this, so they just go, okay, we'll save China for later. as they keep pushing up into Russia, Russia now get other ones to get a grip of themselves and push them back into their strip land. Russia ultimately also do the same thing. And also they link up with China's defence. Britain now cannot find a way in, apart from going in through, I can't remember what the email is called, but it's not going to be easy. And as you can see by the drawing, it is not easy at all. And Britain really cannot get far in. China does have rebellions popping up. There is the bigger brother. Some in North Korea, some over here, and some in Japan. The whole island of Taiwan, this island over here, Hong Kong and Manchu, will rebel. But ultimately, nothing really happens. And they kinda just die down. Now, I'm just going to make the next episode the final because this one is kind of dragging on. The next one is to push out further in than they were, but they meet up with the defence line. If Britain do not crack the defence line, by the way, they haven't, because there's not just one strip. There is many for Britain to get past. The whole of China has just became an absolute obstacle course all the way up to Beijing. And but what China decided to do is decide to push back this defence line and make it slowly further out. But that cuts the Russian one. So Britain decides they're going to push all the way over to the first one. And they're going to break through Russia. And they do that by getting rebellions. This really weakens Russia and allows Britain to push him with ease. But the Russian winter again will set in, but Britain are better prepared. Britain slowly but surely caught up and now invade Mongolia. Beijing is under threat, but just like last time, they are pushed back. But only this time, they are almost pushed directly out, and these defences lines are no longer needed. But Britain do push in just a tiny wee bit more. Now Britain are pushed in. China is on the crisis alert. Okay. This is not going to be a big episode, by the way. They do try and invade Russia one more time, and again just cannot get through. But now finally, the Balkans are ready for war, and they declare war again. The Balkans get further than they actually expected, but Norway declares war. This gives the German and Italian empires time to lose ahead of Russia. But peace treaties made, and it's just the same. 10 years later, Britain declares war again, but this time they are really prepared, taking out so much land with just unreliability. That's not even a word. With Britain being able to do this, I'm actually just going to put the size on, so hold on. But Britain just done what it has done. It has almost reconnected its land. They need one more country, and that is France. France does push the British out from Africa a wee bit, and they also do push Britain back. Also, over in America. But now the big battle starts. This is what's going to be known as the Battle of France. And if France lose, they might just lose the entire war. If France lose the Battle of France, the war's not just over for France. It's over for all of them. Well, whoops, there we go. Right guys, we just got, now guys, it's time for the Battle of France. Britain basically just done the same thing they done in Normandy. Oh wait, yeah, they got Italy too. So they push in from Italy, taking Monaco with ease. They also need to push into Germany a wee bit, obviously. But Britain pushing towards Lyon. This could be a very important battle. With Flyon being taken action, was it planning on taking it, okay? They also got a Shoreditch, something like that. They carried the whole of Switzerland and even invaded a tiny bit more Germany, as in New Germany. They get closer and closer to Paris. And as they get to Paris, France in general, starts to fall. They take Luxembourg, which is obviously really important to France. When Paris is near, finally landings are able to be made. And Britain is knocking on Paris' door. The name of Paris is not actually Paris. Britain are moving to Paris, Warsaw and are put back into the sea. Britain continued to move back towards Paris though, on the other side, but now France is able to push them a tiny bit out of this area. However, the Spanish rebellion did pop up, making Britain able to get pushed back in, but this does not work that for too long. Britain do retreat, but they do come back in through Italy again. But in general, they just get defeated, and they decide that France is not worth it. But now everyone is now deciding they have now decided there is only one thing that they can do, and it is fight off Britain in the homeland. But for that, one more thing has to be done. They need to get more in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's what they're about to try to do. I'm going to need to make this very quick. So, in from France, they move in very, very fast. That would need to go to Russia. Just actually, that's right now. The French okay, right now you can act like it isn't. The Russians get to kick the other side of Canada, and the French get closer to it. And now they get there. Now they are ready for a full-scale invasion of the British Isles, but they do need to push them back just a wee bit more over here. what they do very well. And they pushed them right down into Southern Africa. Now, this is obviously a very big push. But now Britain are really starting to see things. The only reason they're doing this is because they need them weaker. So now they're actually just kind of starting to abandon everywhere. They're literally just abandoning these countries. But Greenland and Iceland are very held on to. Britain see it as a buffer zone. So that will be the next episode for this series. Will be the battle of Greenland and Iceland, and then the finale will come. It will be the battle of the Americas, so the southern bit, and the battle of Greenland and Iceland. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in this video. Peace.